What's up, you guys? This is One Classic Gamer here. Welcome you to Resident Evil 9 Insanity Difficulty Part 8. And this is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the epic finale here. I spent a couple hours working on this last night. There's a lot of context that we got to go through here with this one. For the first, 20 minutes-ish of, Leon's section before we get on to Grace, I did originally have a separate recording sesh that I lost, unfortunately. These types of things happen. Sorry, something just fell on my desk. It was basically, at a certain point, I did decide to restart this whole checkpoint and go through this section again because the boss fight against Hunk is going to be in the opening section of this game or this video, my bad, and I was really having trouble with this guy, so much so that I was like, you know what, maybe I should just restart the checkpoint and see if I can basically get through this with a little bit more resources and healing items, but I did kind of the same in the end, you know. I really kind of I suck at this part, to be completely honest, against the soldiers. These soldiers are really not easy or fun to have to deal with on Insanity, and they throw more of them at you than usual, I think. I'm pretty sure they do. Anyway, at a certain point, you know, we're going to cut to the actual fight itself, and you guys are going to see that I have different ammo and supplies than I did in, the previous clip. All of that is edited that way because, like I said, I straight up just lost the in-between footage. But I was still able to edit this together for you guys so that you could see me play through the entire section. It's just that, I might have a little bit more ammo in one clip and less ammo when, the actual boss fight against Hunk starts. But here we go. We're about to get into the first run-in with these soldiers. So there's nothing for us to grab here other than this tracking module. And when you're ready, just interact with this terminal over here.
Where is that? Okay. Huh.
And it's go time. They are not playing around. So I usually stick to the shotgun here. My strategy has always been to immediately run to the left near this this barrel here, or this whatever the fuck this thing is. As soon as you see the first guy, shoot it so that it obstructs their view, and you can run up, get that guy with the shotgun. And if you're quick enough, you can get this guy too. But I took a little bit of damage there, not too much, and there's one guy left. So this part really just make sure that you have your armor fully upgraded, because this part here is really tricky, to be completely honest. It's nowhere near as bad as the upcoming section where we're going to be going into the bigger room, and in that section straight up I just had to edit around all of my just waiting around for the enemies to pop out so I could shoot them, because if you straight up just run ahead, you will die a lot quicker on this difficulty. Trust me. They basically can destroy your armor pretty much within, I would say, 4 to 5 seconds of standing in their direct line of fire. But we're gonna come back to the item box to upgrade some stuff. I believe I'm going to. We're gonna repair our body armor, and one thing I will recommend you guys do is upgrade your hatchet all the way, if possible. I mean, we are going to go through this, like I said, this next room where I think we fight 8 enemies here, and there's also a liquor here that I let out of its tank, I think by accident. So when you start, just kind of creep around the corner here, don't fully run out. You can get that one guy with the headshot, and there's another guy you can get here with the headshot. I've seen people get, like, both of these soldiers before as they're running away, but that is really, really hard to do. At this point, when you get the first 2 guys, they're going to run back and kind of, like, retreat, and we're going to have to see if we can figure out a way to get them to come out. I was able to spot this one guy here from behind cover, and it doesn't really matter where you shoot them, but, you know, if you shoot them in the body anywhere, then a couple shots usually is enough to take them out. So here we're going to have to climb up the ladder and bait this guy to, like, come out for us, which is not going to be easy. So we're going to, you know, I'm going to edit a lot of this. I had to really, really approach the editing in this video differently than I have in the past, like, 7 videos. I really wanted this finale to, like, be worth it and for you guys to enjoy it and to trim out as much fat as possible. So as you can see, when you're standing on the catwalks here, they can hit you a lot of the times, and it's BS. You won't even know where they're coming from or how they're even able to, like, see you, but they can still see you. So the important thing is, once you trigger that guy to come out, you can potentially lead him back here, in which you can then basically do this, just wait for him to pop his head out. He won't pop his head out if you're, like, aiming directly at him, so you got to kind of look away from him a little bit. And usually whenever he pops out of cover, it's so freaking quick and so fast that, you know, you barely have enough time to react. But as soon as you jump down here, we're going to immediately get into the second fight. I usually, you know, I tried to unload on these guys with the submachine gun, but it didn't really do much. But we released the liquor, so that is going to make this a little bit more easy, because some of the guys are going to be preoccupied fighting this thing, which will give us time to basically take the rest of them out. I was able to take that guy out, and I think there's one dude left. Actually, no, I think the liquor killed him. Yeah, the liquor killed him. So once the liquor kills all of the enemies, just remember that the liquor is still running around, and I believe this door won't open until the liquor is dead. These guys are actually fairly easy to parry, though, by the way. I mean, I learned how to master, you know, parrying their attacks fairly quickly, because there was one trophy that I ended up getting that, again, I mean, I've gone over this repeatedly with all of these videos, is going to be a part of the next video, which is my, you know, platinum trophy video, because I wasn't able to show it in this video. But it's basically, you get a whole trophy for cutting off the tongues of the liquors with your hatchet, and basically in order to do that, you have to parry their attacks, you know, and it's a little bit trickier on Insanity, because you have to parry that tongue pause a few more times than normal to, like, fucking cut its tongue off. But yeah, here we're going to go for the item box to work on some upgrades, because, you know, we're going into the hunk fight now. So again, at this point, I would recommend upgrading your hatchet all the way if you haven't already. I mean, we've been slowly working on upgrading the hatchet up until this point, but the hatchet is basically going to carry us through this entire boss fight. I was failing on this boss fight for about 2 to like 2.5 hours, man. It was ridiculous how much I was failing on this guy. I got so frustrated. I mean, I invited my friend over, Nathan, and there I go again saying, my friend Nathan. You guys all know he's my fucking friend. Yeah, this fight was rough. So we're going to do a little transition here, and I'm going to do my best to guide you guys through this, at least how I did it. So immediately equip the Requiem, because we're going to start off with the Requiem and I have one single shot and a healing item, so I'm going to use that. My health is a little bit better, as you can see, and yeah, it's go time.
Backup is on the way. Not necessary. I'll neutralize the target myself. Leon Kennedy. We finally meet.
So as soon as the fight starts, we're going to parry him, and then we're going to shoot him in the head with the one Requiem bullet that we have. Whenever you get into an animation like this, have the shotgun equipped, because you can always get a free shot off on him if you're quick enough. And we're just going to parry and then attack, parry and then attack for a majority of this fight. He doesn't usually stick to the same attack several times, meaning, if he does one move, he's usually going to do the other move next. So he has 3 different types of attacks, actually 4. He basically has the single swing, the spin, twirl, swing thing that he just did right now. Whenever you get this opportunity to kick him down, unload on him with the submachine gun. He also does a double attack and also a triple attack, where his third swing is kind of delayed, so you really can't be mashing the button. You have to time it just right. There's an example of the third swing. But we're basically doing heavy attacks here with the hatchet. So every single time he's stunned, we're going to, with the L2 button held, we're also going to press the right bumper or the right trigger, and Leon's going to do a more powerful swing. And like I said, that's really going to help you get through a majority of this, especially if your hatchet is fully upgraded. When he runs off to hide like this, I always get behind this pillar right here and just wait until he basically gets close to us, and then he'll go back into attack mode. But yeah, I didn't have a perfect run here, but still, I got pretty good at learning how to master his attacks, but it took a while, and the reason why it was so hard for me was because I really didn't have any healing items at this point, so I had to figure out literally how to master this guy's patterns, basically, all on my own, and do it the old-fashioned way. But just keep parrying, keep trying, and eventually you will get used to this guy. He is definitely, in my opinion, the hardest boss in the game. I really, really struggled with this one, and that fail montage is going to have a lot of deaths right here, because every time I would start this fight, I would pretty much just die, immediately. I never really lasted that long. Now, be aware here on Insanity, I was not ready for this. They do throw soldiers at you here, so I had to kind of cut a little bit, and because I did fail this, but thankfully, once you, defeat the boss, that's pretty much it. The game will give you a checkpoint here, so even if you die fighting these guys, you don't have to really worry about restarting the fight anymore after that. It's a very quick fight. If you're doing it the right way, actually doing damage and really, really, progressing it like I did there, it's probably a 2 to 3 minute long fight, max. So we're picking up the Mortal Edge again, because like I said, this was, I did die, but yeah, this is the last soldier that we have to kill, and thankfully this guy made it fairly easy for me to get his ass. Not before, doing a little bit more damage to me himself, but it doesn't really matter, because we're done. There are only 3 soldiers you have to fight here during this part, and now we're going to head on over to Grace. So I'm going to let the next, however many minutes play out, and I will be back to commentate more for, the big stealth section with Grace. So, yeah.
Grace, this is where we are.
The world is under threat. The technology to control another's will already exists, but it's not efficient at infecting others. I believe Spencer solved that with Elpis. The connection sealed Raccoon City to save it for themselves, and it's been waiting here ever since. This is as far as we could get. If the wrong password is entered, the Ark will be destroyed and Elpis will be lost forever. So tell me, Grace, what's the password?
I don't know.
Of course you do. You're the...
Leon!
Don't embarrass yourself, Mr. Kennedy. You can't beat me.
Aren't we fancy?
Don't move! Oh, wait! You still need me, right?
Come on! Grab time! I got you.
Are you okay?
Me? I feel like $1 million.
Where does this take us?
Your guess is as good as mine. Time to get off. Come on.
What now? Leon. Leon! Leon, are you okay?
How long was I out?
I don't know. A while. Those marks.
It's T-virus. Stage 3 infection.
If you're so sick, why would you come here?
This place. Raccoon City was where it all began for me. When it all happened, I couldn't make a difference. So I am here now.
Stop, Zeno.
He said something about you having a password. What was he talking about?
I don't know. I'm sorry. Here.
I'm going back. I'm gonna destroy Elvis.
I'm coming with you.
No, you're not.
I don't want any more regrets. Whatever it takes, count me in.
If anything happens to me, you promise you'll end this.
I promise.
Come on.
Look! There's a door over there.
Crane's blocking it, though.
I can check it out for us. You think you can give me a boost?
Guess we're about to find out. Come on. Watch out for yourself up there, yeah?
I will.
And we're on to, in my opinion, probably the hardest part of this entire section. Yeah, anytime we have to play as Grace, dude, it's just like, I don't know what it is. It's like the whole vibe just changes. I mean, they really make you feel vulnerable playing as Grace, especially on Insanity. And if you guys have made it this far, you've probably noticed by now that this difficulty likes to really fuck with you and like swap the locations of some enemies and some things that you have to pick up. The puzzles stay the same here, thankfully, but they do throw way more enemies at you here and more lickers at you, so being stocked on ammo and healing items is very, very important because Grace is still, you know, if you get grabbed by a zombie, even at this point, even though she's becoming like way more confident as a character, her health still really fucking sucks. So there's that. We can't get that key yet. You don't have to walk here because there's really nothing happening at the moment, but pretty soon we're about to get into the stealth stuff, and man, I think I was dying on this part and failing on this part probably for like, over an hour. I was trying not to burp, but my stomach. I ate a lot of fucking junk last night. I ate fucking pizza, and I had to have so many like Tums, dude, because lately my fat ass has just been so out of shape, and anytime I eat something and, you know, that like pizza or like chips or whatever, I get like mad indigestion in my stomach, dude, like in my fucking chest and my throat. It freaking sucks. So, you know, some of that shit is still lingering. I know I'm like talking about shit that no one cares about, bro. This is the next morning. Like I said, I was up from like 11:30 p.m. to like almost 2 in the morning working on this. Thankfully, these liquors, you know, behave the same pretty much. The one twist here, though, is as soon as we walk by this guy. We are going to go for this herb, by the way. And just make sure you crouch here. As soon as we stand up here and walk, this guy's going to fall out of his like little hospital bed. So we're going to have to immediately, head in here and not get grabbed by him without attracting the attention of the liquor. This is where I use my Molotov to basically burn this guy. And at this point, he's dead. Another liquor is going to come investigating the noise over here to the left. So just the biggest part here, like the biggest like takeaway and lesson I can give you guys here is like, obviously take your time. Don't rush through this section because Grace can get her shit rocked so freaking fast, man. It's not even funny. We're going to grab that empty bottle right there. And I really do like Grace's sections, how they're more about like strategy and being prepared and figuring out, okay, how am I going to use all the stuff I'm given to like get through this. If we had the safe code, we could get into the safe and grab the resources, but I don't right now. I was kind of yawning while I said that, so I said code. Excuse me. I'm trying really hard not to make my commentary cringe, you guys. So here I'm trying to lure this guy over, but the bottle that I threw there was a little bit too far away, so we're just going to wait for him to walk down a little bit, or crawl rather. Then we're going to throw the bottle again and sneak right by him. Now, they do, I believe, give you just one bottle of acid here, meaning, I think, did they give you 1 or 2 bottles of acid? I can't recall. But throw the bottle, distract him, and walk by him to sneak by him. This guy is really, really dumb and won't notice you right away. You'd have to be standing behind him for a minute for him to notice you. I think there might be another bottle of acid behind us because I know we do take out both of the liquors here. So yeah, I mean, this part is really, really, really tricky. I mean, it hasn't even gotten that tricky yet. Once we have to grab like the first orb, which is here. Yeah, there is another bottle of acid here. So they are nice enough to do that, to give you 2 bottles of acid. Make sure you extract this blood. When you have to go into the room down this hall to the right to like get the orb, that part I think is one of the worst parts of this section, because originally on like standard difficulty they only throw like a couple enemies at you, but on insanity they throw like all of these enemies in this area that we're in right now just like burst out of their pods. Not all of them, but like at least like half of them. So getting by the zombies is not easy. Just make sure you take out these liquors here, and it's good that we got the blood collector expansion because we can collect more blood. And as far as these zombies go, we're going to lure them down the hallway and use our gun to take them out. I usually use the gun that I have equipped on the right D-pad, which, in my opinion is the best gun in the game, as Grace at least. I mean, it's the one gun that does the most amount of damage, so make sure you have this gun equipped. It has more power than the other pistol does, and we're going to lure this guy down, and we're just going to start shooting him, and, do your best not to miss. Obviously, they move around a lot, and my aim is not great all of the time. It's better as like Leon, but as Grace, for some reason, my ammo just sucks. I guess her aim is steadying a little bit, which is kind of a cool little detail. But yeah, this hallway will give you just enough time to take this guy out, so you don't have to worry about him making it up to you. And we're going to do the same thing with the other guy. Sometimes they will drop blood and you can extract it, but this guy didn't. So just walk here, don't run. I mean, I'm pretty sure you could run here because even on Insanity, like, the zombies behave a certain way. Like, they usually don't, like, start aggroing until you get, like, really close to them. Or if you stand in front of them for long enough, then yeah, they will be like, hey, what's that over there? And they will start to like wander over towards you. So this guy, we're going to do the same thing. I ended up using my Molotov on this guy in the end, which was not great because I could have saved that Molotov for later. But it doesn't matter because I got through this regardless. And my aim is really trash right now. That was 5 freaking shots where I straight up just like missed him. Really, you need to really have steady aim here, obviously. So we're going to use the Molotov to finish him off. And, yeah, make sure you don't shoot any of these pods while you're in this area. Because if you do that, then it's going to wake these guys up. And you're going to have more to deal with than, you know, you really bargained for. There's no need to make this, you know, this whole part unnecessarily complicated. So we're going to craft some scrap here with the one makeshift knife that we have, and we're going to craft handgun ammo, I believe. Aren't we? No, we're going to craft an empty bottle. That was pointless. Why did I do that? So here's the override key. As soon as we grab that, excuse me, another zombie is going to jump out here, out of their like pod. So I like to use the empty bottle to basically get past it, you know, because otherwise, like I've said multiple times repeatedly on this difficulty, if you get grabbed like full on, like from the front, you know, it's usually an insta kill, even when your health is totally fine. Which is some bullshit, if you ask me, but I don't know. It does add to the fun and the challenge of it all. So now we're going to have to deal with a liquor at the bottom of these stairs, and this is the first instance where they really kind of throw you for a loop here on Insanity, because normally when you get halfway down these stairs, this guy is going to be crawling around either on the walls or right in front of you. But here, they put him like right in the direct path of where we need to go, basically. So I did kind of figure out my own method here that worked, I would say, pretty well. So if you just follow what I do here, you should be fine. Basically, once you put the override key in, the liquor is going to retreat to like this area that we're standing in right now. So all it really takes here is a little bit of patience. And if you've played RE2 or the one section in RE3 with Carlos, you'd know that these things behave a very specific way, and they have pretty long animations where if you're right near where you need to go, you basically can just like wait until the liquor gets into that animation and run, and you can usually make it without them getting you in time. So I'm waiting for him to go around the corner here, and as soon as he turns around and faces us, we're just going to run for the console and put the override key in. And as long as you are quick enough, this will de-aggro him for you. Alright, so now we're getting into the second half of this section with Grace, and this section took me about 13 minutes to get through. So as soon as we grab the magnetic key, he's going to be up here now, and again, this is very straightforward. We're basically just going to wait until he like kind of crawls to the left a little bit, and once he comes to the left this way, he's going to turn around pretty soon here. Once he turns around this way, as soon as he's like by us, just stand up, walk around this corner here and up the stairs and go quick. And he hasn't been alerted yet. He's just kind of curious at this point, like investigating the noise and everything. So now we're going to make a move for the safe here, because I did find the code at this point. I was failing at this part quite a bit, probably the most out of all of the the like saves that I went through here in this section. I think I ended up saving like 3 or 4 times. And just walk here. I mean, you can run. I wouldn't risk it personally. I had to restart that section going down the stairs, sneaking by the liquor and putting the override key in so many times that I really just didn't want to risk anything here, because every time I died, I usually had to go through about like 2 minutes of like very slow, boring gameplay. But just put that code in, and you'll be able to get this Molotov here. And there is a zombie roaming around to our right, but we're not going to worry about him. So again, we're going to stick to this one gun. This is the gun that Grace had at the start of the game before like Victor kidnapped us at the Renwood Hotel. Man, what a flashback. I'm just kidding. It was literally like only a few weeks ago that I was working on that. And for you guys, it was only like 7 videos ago. So when you get to this break room here, or this kind of like safe room, they're going to throw an enemy at you here. So he's just going to be standing with his back turned to us. Actually, no, he's going to be facing us. We're going to lure him into this area and do the same thing that we always do. Make sure we have some distance between him and us, and just kind of, you know, go for headshots and try not to miss. My aim was a little bit better, as you guys can tell, because that was enough to take that guy down. And there is stuff for us to grab here. There's an empty bottle, and there's a recipe. Make sure you get this recipe here. Yeah, and it's like now they give us the option to craft steroids and stabilizers like at the end of the game. Like, thank you game. What's even the point of that? I mean, this part is also incredibly rough, but I just feel like that's kind of ridiculous if you ask me. So there are going to be a lot of enemies down here in this particular section, and at a certain point we're just gonna have to run by them, because I did get a little scared here. I tried opening up one of the containers to like get out of the way of the liquor, and as soon as I opened up the container, there was a fucking zombie in there. So I had to just make a run for it, and thankfully I was able to get by these guys. You know, the liquors are actually kind of slow when they're chasing after you, but don't underestimate them, because they can still easily get your ass, and you do not want to deal with that headache. So I tried hiding in this container, and they said fuck you and put that zombie there in my path, so I ended up having to just like bolt and make a run for it here. I was able to grab that ink ribbon tin and some gunpowder. This guy got me from behind, which is lucky, because if he would have gotten me like head on, then that would have been it. You know, it would have been it for Grace. And as soon as I got up here into this room, thankfully they give you an ink ribbon tin. I was able to drop another save, and this is going to be our last save. So after we grab this orb, we're going to have to, 1, get out of here, and 2, go back into the first area and get the other orb, which, like I said earlier, is a lot trickier on Insanity because they throw more enemies at you. So I'm basically looking at the safe combos. I had gathered them at this point, looked at the files already, so I didn't really need to get them again. I'm actually pretty sure, now that I've played this game so many times, I'm pretty sure you can get the bookworm trophy on your first run, as long as you don't miss a single file, which is exactly what I did on my first run. But you know, the files that you have to get on Insanity with like the brand new safe codes, I don't think they necessarily count towards the trophy. But regardless, I'm going to show it in my trophy video anyway. I do believe there is a bottle of acid behind us, by the way, where that crate is. So I would go for that if you can. But if not, you know, at this point, our goal is literally just to get out of here and escape this room. There are 2 spots where you can jump down here and make a run for the exit. One of them is right here. I don't recommend jumping down here though, because these guys are, like, as you can see, just congregating down here, just huddling for no reason other than to give us a hard time. And you don't want to deal with that headache. I tried to see if I could get a shot here on this guy, but it really isn't worth it. You know, at a certain point, you're going to have to move out of the way because that liquor is going to start to wander back in our direction. And I wouldn't go for any of the crates. I mean, we're pretty stocked up already as it is, and we only have to go through like one more section after this. And as long as you can make it through that section, then you really don't have anything to worry about. And then it's going to be back on to Leon again in his final like combat section, which, you know, not including the boss fight against Victor, because we are going for the release Elpis option in this run. I did want to face off against Victor just to see if I could do it, you know, on Insanity, and I was able to pull through and beat his ass. So as soon as you get up these stairs, remember, these guys are going to come bursting through these windows. So I usually throw a bottle here in the corner of the room. One of them is going to investigate the noise. The other guy is going to weirdly come over here for some reason. And but now we can get by this guy. This part really gave me like a mini heart attack because I got by both of these guys and I was like, oh, thank you, we're in the clear. Oh, shit. Yeah, they throw a third liquor at you here. But he does wander out the doorway just enough to give you enough space to, like, squeeze by him. So, yeah, that's the end of that section. I believe now we're going to open up this safe. And there is a bottle of acid we're going to get in here. Either that or scrap. I can't recall. And we're going to go back and actually kill that one liquor at the starting area to collect some blood in a little bit. So we can craft, I believe, a Molotov. But the other code is 20070 on Inferno, or not Inferno, Insanity difficulty. Jeez, I forgot what game I was playing for a second. Man. That shows my cognitive decline. I'm just kidding. So we can use this. Make sure you grab this med injector because we might need it. I think my health is still at caution here, which is kind of crazy. I can't believe they do that much damage to you when they grab you from behind. So we're going to craft an empty bottle here. That's what I thought. And like I said, I am going to go back and use the bottle of acid to take out this one liquor to extract some blood. When you do this, when you use the bottle of acid on this one liquor, the other guys are going to be attracted to the noise, but as long as you like kind of wander out of the area a little bit, you don't really have to worry about them aggroing or coming after you. So just take your time here, walk, don't run, as always, because, you know, these things are attracted to sound. I wonder what it was like dealing with the liquors on in the original games, man. Now I kind of want to go back and see how they behaved in the original games for some reason. So as long as you, like, take enough steps back here, then these guys will, you know, de-aggro. I mean, they weren't really aggroed to begin with. They were just investigating the noise. So we're going to get this guy right in the pee-pee to extract this blood and craft an ink ribbon. I think we're going to drop another save, actually. This is why I came back here to begin with. But yeah, I was saying that I would kind of like to go back and replay the original, like, RE2 just to, like, see what it was like to avoid these liquors, you know? Maybe I'll do it at some point. I really, for some reason, was just sitting at my desk, you know, like, smoking weed because it's been like a month and a half since I've smoked, and, you know, I'm extra high now, you know, now that I haven't been smoking, and I really, really wanted to play the original Silent Hill. So my dumb ass tried looking up like if I could play it online for free. And I did find a website on my computer where I could play the game, but I was having such a hard time like figuring out the controls and everything and like how to run basically, and the sound just sounded awful. And then I looked up like an actual like playthrough video of it, and I realized that the sound was nowhere near as bad. It was like a lot more clearer. So I was like, all right, I'm not going to play this game this way because this is literally like the bootleg version of playing the original Silent Hill. I could try doing that with, the original Resident Evil games, but no. If I'm going to play them, I'm going to play them on console or, the way that, most people are doing it, So as soon as you grab this orb, a bunch of guys are going to come out, like I said. So it helps to have 2 Molotovs here because you can take out a majority of them with these Molotovs. This guy's about to die too. So we got 3 guys left. We're going to stand here for a little bit to try and bait them into heading this way in this direction. And as soon as you run out, just do kind of like a zigzag pattern and just keep going. Do not stop here because there are a lot of them. But we're in the clear and we've done it. So congratulate yourself. You've made it through another tricky part. And we're basically back on to Leon's section, which is also pretty tricky too. I mean, the last big combat encounter with Leon is not fun. I'm obviously not including Victor in that statement there. The freaking the one room where you have to wait for the elevator is going to be rough. So we're done with Grace, thankfully, and when you're ready, just put both of these in. And the final document that I forgot to grab in my first run or just missed it the first time around is going to be here in this room. And I'm checking my notes here to see, which one it is. And you basically, all you have to do is look at one of these monitors. It's going to be the monitor down this way to our left near, the screens, the one closest to the screens. And there we go. We got the case closed trophy. And yeah, when you're ready to continue, just go and interact with the console.
Something important. I'll explain later. Shutting yourself away in a dark room like this is quite the change for you, after the life you've led.
Life takes unexpected turns, don't you think?
Looking back, do you feel that the choices you've made have contributed to your present circumstances?
Of course. What you sow, you reap. Isn't that the natural order?
So, tell me, Lord Spencer, what would you like the world to know?
The truth. But a short break before we begin, Miss Ashcroft. I'm not a young man. I don't have the energy I once did.
Why would Mom hide this?
Okay. Back in biz. Fuck.
You alright, Leon?
I am now. Grace cleared the way for me.
That's not what I'm talking about. Your body can't take much more.
I'm gonna settle this. You just send us a chopper for immediate evacuation.
And we're back on to Leon, ladies and gentlemen. He is really, really hurting. Is he going to make it? Is Leon going to pull through? Of course he is. I had to take a little bit of a break, honestly, because I was just getting really bored doing these commentary tracks, but we're making progress. We're getting through this. So did a little cut here to my successful attempt. I really tried to make the cuts as seamless as possible and the transitions as seamless as possible in this video. Yeah, I mean, if you guys think I did it, let me know. Leave the video a like or comment. Or if you're not interested in hearing what I have to say, watch my no commentary version, because that shit was edited like a movie, basically. I was really worried about being able to fit this entire section of the game into one single video, but I'm glad that I was able to make it, as long as it was, Something has been, normally whenever I record playthroughs, I record in 4K 60 FPS, and then when I import the footage into Premiere, it's usually in 60 FPS still. But lately, it's like some of the games I've been playing, like this game, for example, when I import the footage and drag it in and drop it into the timeline, I have to go into the sequence settings and change it from 28 frames per second to 60 frames per second. So it's almost like either this footage was recorded in 60 FPS, but when it was exported to my desktop, some type of conversion happened, or Premiere has a really stupid update now where, they automatically put footage in 30 FPS even when it was recorded in 60 FPS. And there's my big technical rant of this video. So as always, back there I used the whole hallway trick, putting distance between yourself and the enemies, making sure they can't close the distance on you. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot easier playing as Leon, but he is going to get stunned every now and then, or be in that state where he can barely move because the virus is really starting to kick his ass now. So, I mean, that first part really isn't that bad. Only thing I can really recommend there, even though I talked over it, is to craft a hand grenade and use the hand grenade to do some damage, because these lickers are very, very tricky to fight and to defeat. And we're going to have to go through a lot more of them than we did on Standard Classic. So here I'm stocking up on ammo, and yeah, you can also drop a save too. I would recommend it, even though it doesn't really matter. I mean, Leon gets auto saves, so I don't know. The save concern isn't really that big of a concern when you're playing the game as Leon. I just like creating save slots at several different points whenever I'm playing these games on the hardest difficulty, because, I could get into a situation, later on, up ahead, ahead of the save, and be stuck to the point where I can't proceed, and then, maybe I need to reload that save and go back there and, try it again. So loot the area here. It's very, very important to grab all the ammo, because the next room that we come into, we're going to be fighting, I think, 5 lickers. They don't all jump out at once, but they are pretty much spread throughout the entire section here. So you guys are going to see a cut here because I did fail this part, obviously, but I had to create the transition there because that's where the save happened. I mean, I feel like it would be a little bit harder doing Leon sections if they actually did rely on saving like Grace's does, you know. But I mean, that's neither here nor there because that's not an actual feature to this game. Maybe it will be soon. I'm sorry for that gasp. I don't know what that was. So we already took out the one liquor, and we're just going to take this guy out, and he's done. So now I'm going to run all the way back and drop a save again before we proceed, because you can take out those two guys. I don't think you have to get through this entire section here without dying, basically. They don't give you a checkpoint, like, at all. The only checkpoint they give you is, like, right here in this starting, like, area when you, like, round the corner and whatnot. So I ended up dropping, like, I think 2 saves in between here because I really was just playing it safe at that point. I didn't want to lose any progress, and I don't know. I mean, this part is hard, but I think the hardest section is going to be the end when we are going back through that room and we have to fight off the enemies. I mean, that entire section is going to put me in a very, like, dangerous state where I have, like, no health whatsoever, and I'm doing decent on ammo, but still, like, I could be better. Thankfully, when you do the release Elpis option, the game does allow you, when you like first die, it does allow you to basically go back to the item box and restock on supplies. So don't worry, all I'm trying to say is do not worry about going through a majority of your resources here during this entire section, because if you do choose the release Elpis option, you will have the opportunity to go back and reload the the item box and basically stock up on supplies and whatnot. So once you take those 3 guys out, there's going to be 2 more guys down here, and these guys are honestly not fun to fight, in my opinion. I mean, this is one of those instances where you're in such like a cramped area that it's like once you alert yourself and they're both like on your ass, you have to be really like perfect with those parries. And I mean, this was my successful run here, but I got incredibly lucky, to be completely honest with you guys. The game gave me plenty of chances on this run where I could have easily died, but I didn't, because I think I also repaired my armor too. Now, we've been doing this without really taking that much damage, but now we're going to take damage, and that grenade didn't work for some reason. And here I got them into kind of like a weird pattern where they were like, one of them was going around the shipping container one way, and then the other one was like, going around the other way, basically. But, just keep fighting. Do not stop. Don't give up. You can survive this part. It's just kind of a pain because, like I said, they come at you really freaking fast. But I think one of them is about to die pretty soon. I mean, that guy we just hit right there seems like he is like very close to dying. So now our hatchet is pretty much not sharpened. So keep in mind, even on Insanity, the game will remind you, like, hey, you need to press these buttons in order to sharpen your axe. But there you go. All 2 of these guys are done. It's going to chill out for a little bit, at least until we go into that one room that we're heading into, which is basically this way. And after hitting the switch, when we hit the other switch, then more zombies and more liquors are going to come out. I think one more liquor actually comes out during that part. So, we're not out of this yet, but once you hit the 2 switches, you can pretty much just like make a run for the stairs, which is where you're supposed to go. And yeah, so press this button. I'm getting a little ahead of myself in the commentary as always, but that's to be expected, I guess. They do kind of pull some punches here, because on Insanity, on Standard Classic, when you come here into this room, there are like 2 liquors that you have to fight. But when you're playing on this difficulty, they don't like have any lickers here. But they make up for it, like I said earlier, a few minutes ago, when you press this switch here and a few zombies burst out and a licker comes out. So I don't think I was listening to the game at this point. I was kind of tuning it out. And because of that, I literally didn't hear the licker like right next to me. But thankfully, you know, I was using this silenced weapon and I ended up, you know, taking care of this guy without taking too much damage. Actually, we're just going to run at this point. And I parried this guy, which was fucking sick. Yeah, so there are 3 zombies that come out here. And getting by them can be a little bit tricky, but, you know, this guy has a literal, like, shard of glass or something, like a weapon that he uses on us. And there I took a hit, and now we're in that weakened state where we can't run. So you got to just kind of wait this out whenever this happens. But as soon as you have the opportunity to, like, move your ass again, like I said earlier, make a run for these stairs. I was grabbing what was in this crate because I was, like, feeling ballsy. I was like, screw it. Grab what's on in that crate, go up these stairs, and at this point the licker will de-aggro and start to, you know, retreat. So all we have to worry about is, you know, are these guys here. The licker can still follow you, by the way, and I do come back down here to grab this herb. And as soon as I, like, grabbed the herb, he literally, like, fucking aggroed and started chasing after me. But once you make your way all the way up the stairs where you're actually supposed to go, where we're trying to go, he doesn't actually seem aggroed yet. He's going to aggro as soon as I start running. Once you make it all the way up these stairs, you're totally safe, and you don't have to worry about them getting up here. So yeah, the zombies can follow you up here, but I don't think the licker can actually follow you up here. But now it's time. It's time for the last big combat encounter with Leon. And they really made this a hard part, man. Like, this part is crazy. So again, the difference between Standard Classic and Insanity this time around is when you open this door and head back where you're supposed to go, like the way we came, as soon as you enter the room on Standard, there are usually, like, all the lickers are just, like, on the ceiling, basically. And if you want to take them out right then and there, you can. Here on Insanity, when you enter the room, you can hear them, but they're not on the ceiling. So you're going to have to wait till you actually put the override key in to, like, initiate the whole process of, you know, the elevator coming down before the lickers jump out. And it takes time to kill the lickers, which honestly increases your chances of not killing them all before the other zombies, like, pop out. And yeah, I mean, this whole part is just is very, very fast paced and very, very intense. And I'm going to be in, like, a insane state of health when you see my actual successful attempt here. So we're just doing some enhancements on the shotgun, which is also going to help us with the fight against Victor, which I actually really enjoyed the fight against Victor, to be completely honest. That really was I mean, it took me a lot of time to beat him, but still, it's a fun final boss. So as soon as you put the override key in, they're all going to drop down here, and I think there's like 8 of them here. It's very important that you get as many of them close to these explosive barrels as possible. We're going to use the explosive barrels to take these guys out. You can also use the melee weapons too, but I mean, that takes time, and it's just not easy, you know? Just always try to keep a distance, and as you can see here, they do not let up on you when you have your back turned to them and they're, like, on your ass. But this guy is almost dead, and that's going to be good for us because as soon as he dies, we'll have, you know, space to, like, run around and get away from these zombies that come bursting out. So Just keep shooting this guy. Don't let up. If you're lucky, you can pretty much take them all out with, you know, the explosive tanks, but it's really hard to do that. So now I'm going to chuck a grenade to get by some of these guys, and I was able to have just enough time there to press the button. And just keep your distance. I don't have any healing items at this point, so I'm kind of like struggling. And one guy is going to grab me again. I did a powerful swing there, which actually was very effective. And just don't let up. Always keep your distance from them. How many of them are left? It looks like there's like still a few of them. Oh yeah, there's a guy right here too. Always check your corners and keep your eye, you know, in your peripherals at all times. But they're pretty much all done now, so we're going to take this guy out, and I think this guy literally takes me close. No, he doesn't. I was about to say he takes me like near the point of death, but we're pretty much done now. We've survived the encounter, so there are a lot of cutscenes coming up right now, and I'm not going to talk for the cutscenes. I'm just going to, you know, let them play as always, and that's pretty much the last big combat encounter with Leon. So get ready for one last boss fight unless you decide to choose the other ending, which, you know, it's up to you. And yeah. I'm done with this place. We're done with this place. We're out of here.
Almost sure. Not done yet.
What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind?
My research opened Pandora's box, unleashing disaster upon the world.
Except Elpis, the goddess of hope? Or so the myth goes.
A blind hope.
What do you mean?
Humans cannot predict when death will come for them. This is why they have hope. I was wrong, and I am plagued by guilt. Happiness cannot be achieved at the expense of others. I think that's enough for today.
Why did you accept my request for an interview? Who is that? Is that one of your subjects?
Of course not. She was alone in the world. I took her in to make amends.
Is she...
Perfectly normal. Just an average child needing a home. She is my hope. Aren't you beautiful? Would you like to hold her?
Oh, okay. She's adorable. What's her name?
Grace.
Grace. Is there anything else you'd like to tell me?
I've said my piece. I only hope it serves as a requiem for those who have passed.
Leon. Leon. I need to hurry. This is finally my chance to do something. Oh, Leon! Leon! Hey, it's me. It's Grace. Oh, please wake up. Come on. Wake up, wake up. Hey.
Hey, you. I'm just resting my eyes.
You're okay. Oh, let me help you.
Let's do this.
Okay. I don't know the password.
It's okay. Soon left are wide open for us. Any wrong code will do. It'll destroy Opus.
Let's try.
Grace, whatever it takes. I can buy you some time.
No. No, I have an idea.
I trust you. I trust you.
So, the prodigal daughter returns.
I know the password.
Fulfill your destiny, and all will be forgiven.
Only if you let Leon live.
Very well.
Please know that you are my hope.
She is my hope. A blind hope.
Okay. This is it.
What are you doing, Grace?
Spencer regretted what he did. He...
Well done.
You promised.
Yes, that I would let him live. Mr. Kennedy, I give you the honor of experiencing my power firsthand.
I'm not sure Elpis is what you think it is. There's nothing special about me. I was never any key. Spencer wanted to make amends.
But you released Elpis. What is it? Tell me!
Leon!
Why? My powers!
Elpis is Spencer's atonement. It's an antiviral.
Amazing. I am humbled by my master's genius.
Your research was wrong. Elpis wasn't a weapon. There was never a key.
Spencer's paper was obviously incomplete. There was no connection between Grace and Emily.
Do you know how much time and money I wasted on this?
Don't you see the genius? With Elpis, all virus-based weapons are useless. The world order would be thrown into chaos.
We wanted a weapon.
Instead, Spencer gave us anarchy. I will carry his torch and bring his vision to life.
You? You and Spencer were a means to an end.
Yet he outwitted you all.
Spencer defied us and paid the price with his life. He was nothing.
You are nothing but an imitation.
It's over, Victor. The Connections is done with you!
We can't let him have it.
Your ignorance is staggering.
Leon, it's a cure. Oh, it's working. Leon, it's working. Wake up.
Now, let it all come down. All of it.
Grace, what happened? It's gonna go! Grab something! Grace. Grace! Time to bury him
So I feel like the best thing you can do here is literally just let yourself die intentionally. I decided just to show this. This is the only time you guys are going to see me die on my insanity run. But there is a purpose for it, because now, as you can see, we can open up the supply box, which we're going to do. And it's not going to take us back to like before the cutscene. It literally just takes us to the supply box. And you get one chance here to pretty much restock on everything that you have and do some upgrades if you want, but I didn't really feel the need to. So, yeah, here we go. This is the actual fight against Victor. Like all the other like crazy fights, like the fight against Hunk, the fight against all the lickers, learning how to parry this guy is very, very crucial to helping you survive. That kick that he does is, I think, the hardest attack to parry, because you have to, you know, wait a second before you actually press the button. But here I'm running around trying to loot the area. There is a med injector here. When you're running away, if you're close enough to him, he's always going to do that tentacle swipe attack at you. And we're just going to use the shotgun. We're going to use the shotgun and just aim for his head, you know, the entire time. When I get down to like my second to last shotgun shell, it's basically going to drop him to his knees, and we're going to be in like the next phase of this like first fight against him. This first fight, I was failing this probably for like an hour. Thankfully, it was nowhere near as bad as Hunk, because at this point, I just was like locked the fuck in, you know, and like doing my absolute best to like play the game really well and not suck, because I was like, okay, man, this is it. This is the end, you know? And I do really, really like this fight. I think I like this fight more on Insanity, which is crazy, you know, like I prefer this type of fight when it's actually a challenge, you know. On Standard, I like beat this guy on my first try. I didn't even die once, and yeah, it was just kind of sad and pathetic in my opinion. But definitely I think this is a very climactic fight on Insanity. And yeah, we're getting close to going through all of our shotgun shells, but as long as you don't miss, you know, he'll go down. At this point, take the Requiem out, unload on him with the Requiem, try to go for headshots all you can, you know, to do more damage. And we're going to use the rifle here and just unload on him, because we have some time before he starts electrocuting the floor. And he's almost done, or at least this first phase is almost done. So reload the shotgun here. His attacks become a lot more aggressive when you get into this phase, so you got to be very careful. That tentacle can reach a lot further, but just always keep your distance and always parry him whenever you have the opportunity. Pretty soon, he's going to get into a phase where he pulls out a rocket launcher. At that point, we're going to take the Requiem and we're going to shoot him in the arm, forcing him to drop the rocket launcher, pick it up, equip it, and then shoot him with the rocket launcher, and that's pretty much going to end the fight. So again, as soon as he pulls the rocket launcher out, use the Requiem to shoot him in the arm to get him to drop it, and then auto sort, equip it, and then immediately shoot him to end this first phase.
It's over. Good riddance. Nemesis. You're so damn relentless.
now we're in the Nemesis phase. So thankfully this phase is not as bad as the first phase, because all you have to do is get them to fall down twice by, you know, popping these like blisters. I always called, you know, ever since I started playing this game and first encountered the blister heads, I was like, anytime I see something like a point that you have to shoot now in a fight, I'm like, I just refer to it as a blister. These like red blisters take a little bit more damage to like pop, but once you pop them all and knock them down, you're gonna have plenty of time here to like actually shoot these weak spots. So this is where I pull the pistol out, and yeah, this fight is honestly super easy, but you gotta stick with your pairing and make sure that you're always moving out of the way when the, you know, hatchet is at low health. And this attack, if you want to avoid it, all you have to do is like run to the left, you know, all the way like in the corner where like the resources are, and you'll be able to avoid getting hit by him. But really, as long as you just keep parrying and don't miss, and, you know, be as quick as possible at taking out these points here, this fight is honestly, you know, super easy. It's more of a climactic, like, look at this, how cool this shit is fight, you know? And I can appreciate that and dig that in some games. So he's almost done, by the way. We're going to sharpen the axe. Make sure you move from left to right, depending on which arm he starts swinging at you with. And we're going to use the sniper to take out this last blister here. And as soon as he falls down a second time, all we got to do is pop 3 points, 3 blisters, and he'll be done.
Grace, where are you? Sherry. Sherry, come in. Sherry. Shit. Grace! Grace, hang on. Fuck. Grace. Grace.
Leon.
We need to get you out of here. Come on. Let's get you out.
There's no way out, is there?
Well, I'm not gonna leave your side. I'm gonna sit right here with you.
I guess this is it then.
Leon S. Kennedy?
Depends who's asking.
Alpha, you read me, sir? Yeah, they're safe. I got them. Yes, sir. Mr. Kennedy, I have a message from Captain Redfield.
I'll be damned. Can't believe that antiviral actually worked. Feel better than I have in ages.
Oh, thank God. I'm glad you're okay.
We got a dose with your name on it. We'll be back in action in no time.
Thank you, Leon.
Would have been a lot smoother if Chris hadn't been so late to the party.
Where is Chris, anyway?
No idea. I'm sure I'll run into him at some point. Yeah, I'll call you back. It's over then.
Yeah. Opus really was our last hope.
Oh, let's pray Umbrella hasn't left us any more nasty surprises.
I wish we could have saved Emily.
Grace, I didn't hit any of her vitals. She could still be alive.
What are you saying?
Maybe we can save her.
The government has confirmed the existence of an actively trading bioweapons lab located here in the ruins of Raccoon City. The origin point for the worldwide spread of bioorganic weapons. This illegal facility appears to have been in operation for decades.
Sources say that the extension of the lockdown and the recent series of mysterious deaths may be related to tragic events in Raccoon City 28 years ago.
Evidence seized in Raccoon City has led the Justice Department to reopen its investigation into Oswald Spencer and the long-defunct Umbrella Corporation. Some believe the government deliberately drove Umbrella into bankruptcy.
The late Alyssa Ashcroft is credited with cracking the Oswald Spencer story. Conspiracy theorists are already claiming that she was killed in a cover-up, and that the organization responsible is secretly controlling our government.
Tonight, in a speech from the Oval Office, the president is expected to reject allegations of any government involvement since the Raccoon City incident.
Cold rain seems Fighting the darkness, holding me, dragging me to the ground, facing the pain that's controlling me. I won't let it keep me down. I'll make it through to the other side. Scarred hands, tired and worn, warmth of a new dawn on my face. I'll never let it go again. Touch grasping hands, crawling up from the ground, sights on the sky, a new day brings, it lights the way, a new day brings, it lights the way.
And that's my insanity run of Resident Evil 9 Requiem. Of course, I was going to let that music play again because I think that song is a fucking banger, okay? And I'm going to play it whenever I have the opportunity to. I don't give an F about YouTube copyright strikes. Actually, I do. Please don't at me, YouTube. But anyway, I'm pretty sure, you know, if you guys have tried the game out on Insanity now or made it this far, you can tell that this mode, Insanity, is just like a whole different experience, you know, like compared to playing the game on the easier difficulties. I really, really had a good time playing this game on Insanity and mastering it and, you know, getting good at it. You know, it brought back so many memories of, you know, when I was playing the other Resident Evil games a few years ago. I still love this game like as it is, you know, and I don't really think there's anything wrong with it in my personal opinion, apart from a few sections here and there that could have been trimmed down maybe a little bit, like the orphanage section, you know, or giving people a way to like skip through that section and not have to like, you know, play it the way you are supposed to play it, you know. But the gameplay was a lot more fun. Grace's sections are probably the hardest in the game, in my personal opinion, because she just dies so much quicker than Leon does. With Leon, you have way more opportunities to go full John Wick and, you know, shoot your way out of most situations. Leon's sections are harder for the bosses, you know, like the spider boss, the boss fight against Mr. X is really tricky. Plant 4-3, Hunk, which was the bane of my existence. I mean, hopefully I did a decent enough job at giving you guys tips on that. I mean, I've seen people play that fight several different ways now, but really, I mean, this entire final section of the game is just taking all of the knowledge that you have learned up until this point in the game and executing on it, you know, flawlessly, if that makes any sense. You know, not sucking, basically. As Leon, you gotta know how to master those parries. You can even you can even parry the bullets that the soldiers shoot at you with in, you know, the soldier sections, but I never got good enough to actually figure that out, and I'm not about to try it out anytime soon. But yeah, I mean, I can't praise this game enough. I really, really have had a great time working on these videos too, even though it's been a lot more work than normal. And I'm really looking forward to that DLC. Honestly, that DLC, whenever that shit comes out, odds are I'm probably going to wait until both DLCs are out or all of them are out. I'm not going to, play them right away. I'm more interested in the story DLC, and I have a feeling like the next DLC they're going to give us is going to be Mercenaries, and you guys already know I'm not a huge Mercenaries guy, but, if there are trophies associated with it, then yes, I will play it and cover it on my channel. But if Mercenaries comes out first, at that point I'm probably just going to wait until the story DLC comes out. I mean, there was an update for this game recently, but all it really added was photo mode and nothing else. So, yeah, it's just kind of a waiting game at this point. I'm hoping we get to see something, about that DLC soon, I mean, when this video goes up, I'm willing to bet that... I just dropped a cap on the floor. I'm willing to bet that we're going to have a teaser for at least one of the DLCs at that point. It's just, we got to let Capcom cook, honestly. I'm really hoping that the story DLC for this game is actually as long as Separate Ways was. I like it when the DLCs that they release, that they take time to work on, are like basically it's like a whole other story mode, I mean, when I played Separate Ways for the first time, it took me I spent like 4 to 5 hours on that shit, probably 6, so it would be nice to have another DLC, that's around that length, maybe as Chris Redfield. Where's our boy Chris? But yeah, I mean, at this point, I feel like I've said all I really need to say about this game. We have a little post-credit scene coming up, and then I'm going to be back afterwards to basically, end off the video. But the next video I do for this is going to be my trophy video. I'm going to walk you guys through several things and show some bonus stuff too, like the behind the scenes, making of. I'm going to show you guys all the concept art. So it's not just going to be like, oh, here's this one document that I missed that I couldn't show, But yeah, I will get into that in a little bit once we get through this post-credit scene here.
And Sherry's okay? Oh, good. I'm so glad. Emily, yeah, she's doing great. I'm actually teaching her how to read.
Grace! Grace! Where's that report?
Sorry. Leon, gotta go. Catch up soon.
Remaining BSAA forces have been neutralized. Retrieving the objective before they send in the wolves.
So here is my trophy for Remarkable Agent for beating it on Insanity, and my total playtime in the end being 7 hours and 57 minutes. So yeah, next time on Resident Evil 9 Requiem, I am going to be doing my bonus video and then my fail montage. So if you like this, please comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys then. Peace!